go. The opinions and views expressed in this podcast are solely those of the Mortgage Dudes only, and not those of Equity Resources Incorporated or Green Tree Mortgage Services. We're not crazy. Think of them as your slightly odd, yet occasionally hilarious uncles that are very knowledgeable about mortgages. I will say, together they have over 45 years of experience in the housing market, and that may or may not have included bourbon, beer, and cigars. They are here to enlighten and entertain, and we cannot be responsible for the language or jokes. So buckle up and be ready. Things are about to get interesting.
And I'll be, doing whatever I'm told with.
You'll be cleaning up dog.
Yeah, pretty much. I already cleaned up horse. Add some dog.
It's just a smaller version of horse crap.
It'll be the end of the fishing season. I'll have plenty of time to call you 3 times a day going, Shane, this person's so brilliant. Ooh, did you hear the sarcasm in that?
Hey guys, welcome to the Mortgage Dudes. I'm your host, Shane Marzullo, and this is my other host, Ed Maloney.
Thanks for not just calling me a co-host, because that would have made me down here and you up here. Although
I don't know. They know what co is equal. It's just like when people buy a house, like, well, they're the co-borrower. Well, I'm like, well, they own half, so they're equal.
Unless the co is my wife, then she's in charge, and I know.
Well,
is that fair? I'll call your wife.
So when it's your wife, so my uncle's always explained female math to me. Female math is this. It's for her side, it's 50, so for your side, it's 50-50 in your mind. Okay. If we have $1, I own 50 cents, you own 50 cents. And the wife's side, it's basically 70-30. And then of that 70-30, she gets 70. And then you guys split 50-50, the 30%. So
I don't even see it as money. I see it as decision power. My wife has the power. I have a body built by Budweiser. Okay, let's get right into this.
Yeah. My wife handles all the bills, so I love that.
And she also obviously handles how to dress you, because you actually look pretty today.
I dress myself. I'm very fashion forward. Hey guys, you can follow us on Facebook. Then also, all your social media platforms, as far as your, whatever you listen to your podcast from. So that's a good thing. And do this. If there's a subscribe button, if you click it, it's literally free. And who doesn't like free? Ed loves free, free samples all the time.
And we have the free shirts, and then you can wear them in unique places. So, Shane, I like animals more than I like people. Yeah. So I want to talk about your loss recently.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your dog.
Yeah, so I had Tucker, and he was 13 and a half years old. He was a boxer pit mix. We rescued him 13 years ago, and I had a rental property that I had to evict people. So they left him in this house for about 5 days. I didn't.
Wow! That's horrible.
In the basement, puppy. First met him, literally locked eyes, fell in love, best friends forever. So we lost. I agree. Yeah, I mean Tucker. Tucker went on us with our RV vacations. I mean, I literally would never ever put him in a those boarding places, because just the way they treat it, I was like, absolutely not. This is my dog. and the kids. I mean, we grew up with the kids. So at the end of April, right at the beginning of May, about 10 days before the end of beginning of May, Tucker had torn both ACLs. He was a great family dog, and he was literally my best friend. I mean, we would sit outside. I'd smoke cigars, drink, just have us sit out there on a nice hot day. He'd sit there with me, He'd go just stare at people. He was a great dog. He's getting so old, the arthritis was so bad he just couldn't walk anymore. And my daughter is a vet tech, and I take my dog to her, and we did. Sadly, I mean, we went to talk to the vet. It was time for some shots and everything, and I had the conversation with the vet that I never wanted to ever have. And Savannah was there. Janelle actually went with us because she's never gone there with Tucker. And then when we decided, it was just like, we're going to have to put him down. My other daughter, Sydney, came over. She was real close. She's only like 2 minutes away from Savannah's work. So they came, we all put him down, which is, if anybody's ever had to put a dog down, I'm telling you right now, it's the worst thing ever.
We've done 2 of them. We've done 2 of them.
I honestly, that day, it was a Wednesday, and I texted my guys. I said, hey, I'm not doing Bible study with anybody tonight. I'm literally sitting on my porch and drinking and cigar smoking and being by myself. I cried for about a week, and it's still kind of hard. I mean, he was my best friend. And so after that, we had like not even 10 days. I just told Janelle, I said, I want to get another dog. I've always loved dogs. And so we went to the Humane Society, picked up, ended up finding not 1, but 2 dogs. They're sisters. And they're great. They're awesome. It's hard because I always think of Tucker, and these guys are, I mean, they're a lot smaller. They're a Staffy Terrier mix, and those sons of a bitches are just 100%. I mean, they'll go on their zoomies and they'll run in my house and they'll come running up the couch like those dual barrels right on the, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like I thought they're going to kill me a couple times. So they're great. They are fun. And there's something about getting new dogs. I know you said you just got a new dog.
So we have a Weimaraner. Years ago, we had a dog named Fenway, our family dog. It was a mix. It was a golden. It was a lab. My oldest, who's now 25, we lost a dog about 4 years ago. Same devastation for you, for him. He's since moved out. He's got a little dog with little legs. I can't remember the name, Terrier or whatever.
In the Corgi?
Corgi, yeah. So yeah, he's got that. But we've had a Weimaraner for about 4 or 5 years. And it is attached to my wife. And my wife does the leather work at the house where she builds the belts, the wallets, all that stuff. RivetedLeatherworks.com, by the way.
Yeah.
And dog leashes. Your wife's going to put one on you, Shane, but that's a different thing. So we've had the Weimaraner 5 years, and my wife's finally like, would it be good to have a puppy with her, with Lucy? So we're going to get a GSP. It's not a GPS. GPS is what Ed calls it for the thing. GSP. It's another small hunting dog. Okay. It's breeded. We'll be getting that shortly. And I'll be, doing whatever I'm told with.
You'll be cleaning up dog.
Yeah, pretty much. I already cleaned up horse. It's a dog.
It's just a smaller version of horse crap.
It'll be the end of the fishing season. I'll have plenty of time to call you 3 times a day going, Shane, this person's so brilliant. Ooh, did you hear the sarcasm in that? That'll probably proceed to increase. Well, animals are great, but you are all people. So people, if you're renting now and your yard sucks and you have an animal, or you have an animal and you're worried if you get removed from that place, good luck finding a landlord to let you have an animal. I mean, I've got a lady now, she's got 4 boxers that she does nationally, across the world. And her and her significant other, whatever. She got to find a rent. It's a nightmare. Nightmare. So if you love animals and you're renting, call me or Shane. We can educate you anywhere in the country. We are not licensed everywhere in the country for you regulators. We will not talk about interest rates. That doesn't mean we can't educate people. We are animal lovers. This is now going to go into my favorite topic, boating and fishing, and then we'll go into the real mortgage stuff, which is about being a landlord.
Yeah, so you got boating season. You got to tell us about. I saw these photos. Everybody follows Ed on Facebook. You know, it's always a chuckle. But you had a big boating venture. Trust me, I'm the captain. That's hilarious.
Thank you to the Stoyle family for this hat. So my boating season starts May 1st. I'm on a rack system. As of today, no, I don't count. Yes, I do. 32 times on the boat. The boat rack system closes October 10th. So we open 40 to 45 times. Then I pay to go on charter boats. Why? Let's be honest. I don't drink on my boat. Why? Because I'm not a one beer guy. Yeah. So when I'm not on my boat, I may or may not proceed to drink many beers and smoke many cigars. So some of the boats, bigger charter boat, I just go myself. Some 6-pack boats, I do the whole boat. And this year, we chartered an entire boat. We put 30 past client, referral source accountants, divorce attorneys, whatever, friends of Ed on a boat. It was the gratitude trip. It was wonderful. We had 5 from the company. We had me. We had the sexy Brian Gilligan. We had Jamie.
The one that does everything.
Great. We had Jamie, the boss, who does everything when Brian's out. People like asking Jamie, what's your job? He goes, to keep Ed out of middle management.
To keep Ed out of HR.
Never to talk to middle management. Then we had the one and only Adam Romine and Kristen is a ring, whatever. She's from North Carolina.
Our awesome marketing people.
They come out and they do the video. So we get the whole boat. We are going out. Most people don't have to know how to fish. Doesn't matter. And it's a 6-hour trip. Gilligan's on the boat. So luckily we didn't hit anything. And we had a ball. People interacted. We did a bunch of video. Next year, I'd like to open up the questions because the questions love marketing, but what? How'd you meet Ed? Why do you love Ed? I'd like other questions like, what do you not like about Ed? Why is Ed bald?
Yeah.
What did Ed do? Yeah, whatever. But that's for next year. We are going to make this an annual boat trip. Tom Byzinski, don't forget that. Very excited.
So tell me about this boat trip. I got questions because, and I'm sure other people do. So is it just like, hey, everybody on a boat and drinking, or are you guys actually fishing?
No. It is called the Patriot Boats. There's a boat that's about 62 feet long. We put 35 people on it, and it is a charter boat. Usually people will pay, whatever, $110. They fill the boat with individuals, and you are going fishing. We instead chartered the entire boat. Okay. So it was a fishing trip. Everybody there, people that had never fished before, got to catch fish. We gave out little trophies. For the biggest fish, we gave out a pool floaty, and it had a unicorn in the head of it. And my friend, Peter Hill, my military friend who does the sock drive with me, who just left Massachusetts for the wonderful state of North Carolina, won it. He put it on the back of his Harley to bring it home. Peter, I expect pictures of North Carolina with this. But yeah, no, it was a great trip because people that had never fished before, the mate was excellent, putting the bait and stuff on. Some people took fish home. Everybody get to meet everybody. In the end, we ended up with 26. We invited 30. But the thing is, if it was about fishing, company, as you know, does not doesn't love alcohol. Let's just look at it that way. Our company does not like alcohol like me and you do. So we said to people, BYOB. Luckily, one of my good friends, John Cotton, brought a big tub of beer. Good boy, because Ed forgot his only 12-pack for himself and his team in his refrigerator because he was too concentrated on the bag of cigars. Had about 8 guys smoking cigars. Buddy of mine who's 8 feet tall, not quite, 7'3".
The ladies didn't smoke cigars?
No, 7'3". He picked me up, almost threw me off the boat. It was an absolute ball. I think maybe you should come next year. Maybe as part of it, we could do a podcast the days before, and then I could show everybody on the boat. This is why you work with me and not like you. Well, let's get right into this.
Let's get into the mortgage talk. I tell you what, this is we'll call this the renter edition. You know, if you are if you want to be a landlord, you're like, hey, I want to buy rentals, Shane. I want to buy rentals. Well, it's, is it a great time to do it? Sure. Anytime's a good time to buy a home. Are rentals high up? Yeah, people got to live. We got a large generation that's surpassed the baby boomers. So they got a place. They don't want to live with mom and dad all the time. I sure didn't want my kids to live with me all the time. I mean, it's just more cleaning up I had to do. People are like, well, what's needed for a rental home? Well, it's real simple. You got to have the money. You got to have at least, here's what I tell people. I always tell people, you got to put 20% down. Can you put 15% down? Yes.
Stupid.
The problem is it's very hard to do that. You have to have a lot of reserves. You have to have your PMI, and you got to think when you're with a rental. It's not like when you're home, like, okay, great, I have a home, I can live in this, I can make the payment. Well, now you have another home where you're trying to make money, and if your payment is so high where you're only making maybe $50 or $100 or maybe even $200 a month on our investment, is that worth it? So you really got to crunch numbers. And, and that's something is if you don't know how to do that, you're like, hey, Shane, or hey, Ed, what goes into a rental? I mean, talk to us, before we even start running credit, and like, we can explain all these things and get you a kind of idea. I mean,
and one of the big things, Shane, that people say come to me all the time is, can I get a gift for the down payment of a rental? No, you cannot. Now, could you have the money in there seasoned? Yes, meaning in the accounts for 2 months. Could you buy the rental with a coworker, a brother, an uncle, an old girlfriend? That's awesome. That's another idea.
That's what people
pulling two people together, pull the assets together, reserves. But I'm all with you. You're buying an investment as an investment. If you can't put 20% down, pretty much don't do it unless you're going to own or occupy one side, which is we're not talking about that now. We're talking about investment properties.
Yeah, we're talking, you're buying a place, either 1-unit family home or 4-unit family, up to a 4-unit. Anything over that, don't call us. It's commercial.
Oh, call us. I can find you a beautiful man in Massachusetts named John Cotton of Rockland Trust. He brought the beer on the boat, so I didn't get in trouble.
Yeah, there you go. So, but I mean, as far as, what people realize, so yeah, we talked about the 20% down, which is the best. Now, 25%, the rates are a little bit better, costs are a little bit better. But there's something we always kind of remind people is there's that lending likes is reserves. And what is reserves? Well, reserves are a percentage of your payment. And so if like your payment is, let's say it's $500 a month, we like to see you have 6 months of reserves on that. So that basically means we're going to want you to have $3,000 somewhere, either 401k where we know you have the ability to access it, IRAs, investments, checking, savings account. If you have that, we're not touching that money. We just got to see that you have access to that. And it's important. That's a big thing that gets people over the hope. You're like, well, what's the big deal about reserves? Well, here's why we think about that. With investment properties, it breaks. You're going to have to fix it or pay somebody to fix it. Or tenants are going to leave and then you have to still make that payment. So
or tenants are not going to pay in my state, squat and stay. Sorry not to offend anybody, but we are the most liberal state for those rules. And I'm sorry, the consumer, during COVID, those people didn't pay. They didn't have to pay. Well, the freaking landlords had to pay. Yep. I'm sorry, but that is a big, big, big risk. If you are going to be a landlord,
a risk.
You better have reserves because Johnny could say, F you, I'm not going to pay. And it could take 6 months easily, especially if they have kids, to get them out in Massachusetts. Wow. Easily 6 months. And now people will say, well, you get a claim against them in court to get your money. I'll go back to what Ray Maloney, my dad, said. You can't get blood out of a stone, honey. Yep. And sorry to go off on that, but I think reserves, not just to qualify, but for doing it for the right reasons.
Yep, and you're right, because and that does bring up a good point about investment properties. Like Ohio, look, we're easy. If you're not paying, I put a 3-day notice on the door, or I send it to you. From that point, After the 3 days, still no pay, I go file eviction paperwork. We're in court within 30 days. You're out within a week. Yeah, and the judge doesn't want to hear your BS. I trust me, I had enough events, rentals, and people would be like, well, Christmas, I don't care. Christmas is the same time every year. Got to go. See you later. When are you going to be out?
But the state here,
most time, these people don't even show up to the court, and they already moved their crap out anyway because they already know they're just playing games. But so short of that, and that's the negative part. Yeah. We don't want to get into the negative part, but there's always some type of negative. It's you're owning a business. When you're buying investment properties, you're basically becoming a self-employed business, and you have to think, how am I going to maximize my profits? There are costs when you buy a home. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, we'll lend on them. They'll do them, but there's a cost. There's going to be either a higher rates or loan origination charges. We have to offset for those. It's, they hit you on that. And like I said earlier, if you put 25% down, costs are less, even more. They ease up on it because their layer of risk is not so great. So they're not going to.
The more money down offsets the layer of risk of it being an investment property without a doubt. By the way, you cannot buy an investment property with a VA loan. You cannot buy an investment property with an FHA loan.
So let's talk about who's going to take care of the home. So, if you're a person like, I'm a handy guy, I can do all the repairs and everything, great. That's awesome. Are you saving money? Heck yeah. But sometimes you don't have the ability to do that, or you're just too busy. So you have to have like a management company, or you're going to want to get a list of repair people that can help you out.
Talk to other people that own multifamilies. One of the things I've watched people do, and I'm sure in Shane's market he can give you people, and I can give you people, put you in touch with people. And in Massachusetts, you better have escrow accounts. You better have a good lawyer set it up, because here it's sue happy. Mm-hmm. Do you need escrow accounts set up there as well for rents being put in special accounts?
No. Like what do you mean? Like when people are buying?
If a landlord is collecting rent, they have to keep them in specialized escrow accounts in the state of Massachusetts.
No, not
we are
Ohio and Michigan. We're the state of freedom, baby.
Don't get started. Yeah. Okay, putting a home in an LLC. Yeah. I get a question before you start. So certain loans like DSCR, which you'll get into, allow LLC. A conventional loan, to my knowledge, and we may debate on this, the letter of the law, the letter of the loan doc says in most conventional loans you can't put an LLC. Now, many people, I'm not advising it, I'm not okaying it, but because I believe the letter of the loan doc says you can't change title, you can't close an LLC. Now, I am told by society that many put it in an LLC afterwards. I will never advise somebody by itself to do that, because the loan docs say you're not supposed to, general loan docs.
You can't change the name of
name of ownership
owner of the property.
The benefit of an LLC
here's a caveat
is you can't
to that, Ed.
Liable. Go.
So we cannot close an LLC on Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac files, but what they say is, after the fact, if you put it into LLC, as long as you are the 100% owner of that LLC, then it is acceptable.
See, I learned something. I didn't know that. So Shane,
and that just came out in June.
Could you send me that guideline? I want to get to 3 attorneys, please.
Yep.
Is that an Ohio thing or a national thing? It's got to be national.
That's Fannie's rule. With lending, conventional lending, there's a max amount of properties you can own. So, are financed. You can own 1,000 homes, but you can only have 10 financed loans
through Fannie and Freddie, because that doesn't include 5 families, commercial buildings like your church that you go to that you smoke your cigar at.
Yeah. That's at my house. We don't. Yeah. But yeah, so there are things. Now I have a big push of I have a conglomerate of individuals that are buying investments. quite a few of them are from Puerto Rico. Matter of fact, I did a seminar with them just online. It was actually pretty cool. And the one lady was from the Dominican Republic. And I'm like, oh, can you hook me up on some cigars? And they're like, and the one guy, Joe, you're like, Shane, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of you, Joe. Yeah, we'll take care of you. But the Section 8 homes, I don't know if you get Section 8 as much.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
It's a great money. It's a great, if they're buying it and they're buying a home and they put it in a Section 8 and get it ready for Section 8. And it's guaranteed income. So, it's one of those things. It's a guaranteed income, and they tend to live in that rental for a long time.
I'm going to give 2 good points on Section 8 because a lot of people have a lot of negativity about it. One, during COVID, the landlords that were Section 8 got paid when others didn't.
Yep.
Number 2, a friend of mine, Ed Daniels from Vesta Team in Holliston, he's got his general contractor's license. He's a broker, but he owns a bunch of investment properties. In our hometown of Holliston, he bought 2 small storefronts and 2 apartments upstairs. He is very knowledgeable. I hope he's not watching this because his head will get too fat. But he redid the top units. What the landlord was getting compared to what he can get Section 8, oh my God. It covers everything. It's incredible. And Section 8 also helps people in need, period.
It does. It's not just and that's the thing. We're not saying, hey, it's a money market scheme. It's clearly there's individuals who can't afford something, but they have to live.
Right.
And they have no place to live.
A lot of them have a disability or have lost a husband or a wife or have cancer. And they've been vetted for real reasons. They're not just, no offense, deadbeats. There are a lot of people think Section 8 is, which is not true.
From house to house because Section 8 will kick them right down. So, but it's a good money. And then, for those who are like, well, maybe I want to look into the DSCR loans. And they're a very good loan. And I mean, I'd tell them how they work.
So DSCR, the nice thing is, I don't care if you've got more units. You can also put it in an LLC. Yep. It is the debt on the home versus the rental payments. Right. Now, it's the appraiser, the lower of what the appraiser says, and the leases you have. So sometimes you want to educate your client. We're educating you guys. That maybe you want to be ready to put 30, 35% down because maybe the rents are higher than where the market is showing recently. They're slowly going up. And let's be honest, this is horrible. I get it. Our country, and this is not about Democrat or Republican, bring the wig party back.
Bring the wig back.
Is going to have more haves and have-nots. It's that simple. We have more people not being able to afford housing. Thus, you're going to have more renters that are going to be renters for life. Yep. And the reality is rentals are a great way to make money. DSCR rents are only going to go up. I don't care in every market because there ain't enough freaking places and not enough people are going to buy because they're not going to listen to me and Shane about the Equity 100 or buying an owner-occupied multifamily with 5% down, which is a different discussion. But the DSCR is great because it gets you in and it doesn't, I can have my own business losing money because I'm smoking all my cigar profit. They don't give a shit. They're basing everything off the income of the property. You got it.
It's almost what they did is they looked at the way commercial lending does, and they brought it over to residential. And it's nice is because the property has to be profitable, a certain percentage of a profit and everything. Now, I will say, for a lot of people, some of the I have not heard. I've heard there's some people out there, but I don't know. I've never. It could be all pillow talk for all I know. But the minimum loan amount on those is $100,000.
Yeah.
So if you think you're like going to buy a $70,000 home and it ain't going to work.
Even in your armpit of the world, there isn't a lot of $70,000 homes.
Yeah. $70,000 homes, and it's not total armpit's beautiful.
Okay, let's keep going, baby.
Yeah, there is cost involved with that, so that's something. The thing, and that's something, and you got to look at the areas. Like Toledo, it's one of the biggest places to own. It's a
price growth up 17%. It's been all over the national news. Yeah. From what I'm told, and you're there, you beautiful bald witch with the bee, that rents are sticky. Back to what I said, you have your haves and have-nots. People stay in rentals 3+ years compared to other places in the country. Yeah. And people like you and others I've talked to are like, hey, this has been going on in Toledo for 5 years. The media is just catching up with it. Is that fair?
It's a hot market. I mean, I will say. I mean, and even with my my Puerto Rican clients, when they're doing that thing, they're like, what other areas? I'm like, well, I mean, you got to go when you're looking at investment properties. You don't want to look at the small, the small cute ones. One horse type of town. You're wanting the big metropolitan areas like Toledo, obviously, Columbus, Cleveland, Youngstown.
Newark is Newark considered a big city?
That's the one horse town. That's the town owned by a bank. I don't know.
Our corporate office, for those of you that do not know, is in Newark, Ohio.
Yep, my sister company. Yep.
Me and Shane are not allowed in that town together, but once a year, and even then,
they love us. They love us.
I think Tom Basinski's answer is, I have the bail money in a box.
Yeah. We just keep going around the roundabouts all the time, just sliding around. No, but I mean it is. So I mean it's a great place. So and that's the thing too. Hey, what are hot markets first? Like I said, I'm all of Ohio, all of Michigan, Ed's Ohio,
Maine, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Mass. And my beautiful Brian sits in Newark, Ohio. I'm full of energy.
That's
my
right.
Purified water, baby.
We're definitely here. Yes, that might be vodka.
No, I don't drink vodka. I drink beer, baby.
But yeah, no, I think it's one of those things they ask us. Look at you in your little bonsai tree.
It's fake.
But okay, so let's talk about my golf plans. So golf season's been great, by the way. I've been struggling all year for golf. I mean, it was tough. I'm like, and so I finally got it together. I every year I do a trip with my buddy who owns a house in Indiana on the lake.
You told me that.
And we basically, I go on Tuesday night, and we all go out to dinner. With a group of us, and we get these damn pork tenderloins that are big as a cowboy hat, and it's just they're so goddamn good. Oh my god, they're so good, and I literally eat, smoke, drink, golf, and repeat.
You're doing that again in freaking no, that's a bourbon.
No, we did that in August every year. And it just kicks, helps me get my game. And I ended up fixing my game, which was great. So, but then, and then now we got my in September is our bourbon trip, our annual bourbon trip with we have 9 of us that are, we're all givers. We believe in giving. So we go and help the less fortunate distilleries and pay for their, we give them money, and we'll take some of their product from them just to help them out because they're not making much money right now. These distilleries are kind of hurting. So, and we help them out and give them money. And then we go to this little small place that has food and alcohol. You might have heard it. It's called Costco. So we go there and give them some money and buy a bunch of alcohol and a bunch of food. And it's basically, we do a bunch of tours. So, and if anybody likes bourbon, you got to do a tour. You got to go to Kentucky or there's other places, but I'm telling you, Kentucky is beautiful because of the history. And if you're not a big bourbon fan, but some of these guys, they have gin, they have vodkas. But it's just the history itself is amazing.
So let me ask you, I know that Tom Piesinski and Tiffany Good's husband do trips. Yeah. Why are you never invited on those?
Well, what's funny is, Ed's like, when are you going to, or not Ed, but Tom's like, when are you going to be there? I told him, I'm like, well, September 4th. He's like, oh, we'll just miss you guys because they're going to be like 3 days after us.
Because I was in Kentucky for a horse thing several years ago. Yeah. And they were there. They're like, come with me. I'm like, I'm with my wife. We're away on vacation. Me coming with you is not a good idea.
Yeah. Let me tell you right now, Kentucky is a beautiful area.
Love it.
And
God's country.
We last year we realized when we were driving, we're like, it's not the distillery companies that are making much of money. It's not even the people who own a bunch of horse. You know who's making a ton of cash there? The fence builders. Oh, you don't need one fence. You need a double fence.
Oh, yeah.
You need a fence around that tree because that horse is going to tear up that tree. So let's just put a fence around all those trees.
And everybody's got a horse. Well, for me, my plan is to continue boating. My boat comes out October 10th from the rack system. As of today, I have 12 charter trips, and I might try to play a card with my wife tonight to go out on one on Saturday, not determined yet. And ice cream trips. So my daughter has a living boyfriend. His name is Keith. Keith brings me beer. He can stay for a while. And he's an ice cream fetish guy. Oh, my God. Everything's ice cream. I have Dairy Queen. Every once in a while, I'll post me eating my Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Hey, how do I keep such a beautiful body? And then they used to have those Choco ice cream things.
Oh, Choco Taco?
Yeah, they got rid of them. I was so sad. Tried a couple of the other frozen ones. If you've got something you recommend from the grocery store in place of Choco Taco, I had great videos of Choco Taco. Choco Taco's gone and I cried. I've tried to replace it. Everything I have sucks other than going to the normal ice cream shops, which all close around October 1st. So, yeah, that's the ice cream thoughts. I go for my diabetes blood check September 8th. I'll let us know what the last one was 7-1. To give you an idea, over the years, 7-1, 6-5, 6-8, 6-7, 6-6, 6-7, 6-2, 6-4, last one 7-1. So we got these issues. They really would like me 6-5 or under. I can tell you September's not looking good.
I'll tell you what, I'm not, I do like ice cream, and I try to avoid it because, I'm trying to lose weight and everything.
I'm 191 pounds of brick.
Yeah,
brick steel, baby.
I'm down 20. I'm on a plateau right now, so I took a break, and I'm gonna get down that other 20. But I've been on I like the blizzards. I love blizzards. I love Heath blizzards. Those are my. And then
they got almonds in it. It would kill me. I can't eat that.
They don't have almonds in it.
Heath has almonds in it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, baby. I know because my throat goes.
I did not know that, but I still like them. So I basically, there's like a couple little ice cream places. Like I'll go get one, okay, I'll just go get a small and everything. Well, yesterday, it was kind of it was just a rough day yesterday. We had, IT issues, IT people issues, computer issues, whatever. And it's just problems with some files. And I'm like, so I left the office because it wasn't working right. So I'm like, I'm going to go eat. So I got lunch, and also I'm like, oh man, I want to get a little, I'm just going to get a small, going to get like a mini kid size, little flurry blur. They call them flurries here because, and so I get to this little ice cream place. I get there and I'm waiting. School season started. They're not open till 3. It's like 2:00. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna stop at the other one by my house. There's one by my house. So I zip over there. Closed. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Apparently, the world's telling me I don't need ice cream today. But I'm like, you know what? I got bourbon, and you ain't telling me I don't have that. So
your belly was telling you no more. So what's the market doing? In my opinion, we get too fixated on rates.
Yeah.
I've said this once, I'll say it 1,000 times. If you're renting, not living at mommy and daddy's house, but paying rent, you're paying 100% interest. Let me repeat it, 100%. So rates are rates are rates. Do I believe there's more inventory on today than there was a year ago? Yes. Do I believe there's a crash? No. Do I believe if you like a roller coaster, go buy in Florida, because you will live the life of a roller coaster. Yep. Boise, Idaho, another one that was the roller coaster. Nevada, those are roller coaster areas. We keep hearing, oh, naturally, blah. Regionally, New England, we don't have a lot of inventory on. Priced right inventory, again, every region's different. Here, 600 and under is a hot potato. I bet you're saying the same thing, different price point, but the same thing, that you are still in a very competitive market.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, there's people were putting, I had somebody lost the bid. The person put $30,000 over asking. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, do you have that?
And how much was the house on the market for, to give a idea? How much was it on the market for? I
think that one was going for $210,000.
30 grand. That's 15% roughly more. That's insanity.
But they wanted the house.
And they got it.
And they had the money.
Right. So they're not worried about it appraising at that point.
Yep. Yeah. No, they weren't. They weren't. And that's the big thing. I think the biggest people, if there's a big takeaway from all this, I think one, if you are a homeowner and you want to get, like, hey, I'd like to dip my toe in investing homes, call us. We'll go over all the numbers and everything, especially before you start wasting a bunch of time, and just you got to have a plan. At least come up with a plan, and we'll help you with that. The second thing is, you can't be afraid of this market. If you're still waiting for the rates to drop, you're losing money. You are losing so much money that it's not even funny.
And if and when rates drop, the competition is going to be more, and the house prices are going up. Yeah. Period.
Yeah, the houses are not. I mean, I think the values will plateau a bit, because there'll be more sellers who are like willing to move, but it's still, you're still going to compete with the same bunch of people. Yeah. I would say, we don't want to discourage anybody from buying a home. I think it's a great thing to do, but at least having a conversation with experts like you and I, and to have a plan is the most important thing you can do. So don't be afraid. Look at you, cool guy. Don't be afraid, and just call us. I mean, trust me, I would rather you sit there and have a conversation with me, talk about it, than just filling out an application, me wasting money and pulling your credit report, and then you going, well, I don't know if I can do this. You just wasted my money and time. I'd rather you just sit there and have a conversation, come up with a plan to see if you're ready.
Okay.
And that's more important than anything.
I would agree. Everything with time and a plan, anyone can buy a home. Now, my parting shot, the future's so bright, I need to wear my sunglasses and trust the captain. The captain. So, it's been a beautiful day. Shane's got to go to a closing. That's why he looks pretty. I, on the other hand, need to go fishing. So, do you have a parting shot, you beautiful bald person?
Yep, I do. You know what? Hug your dog. Hug your dog. Love your dog. It's still, like I said, it still hurts at times. That's the biggest thing. But hug your kids too. I mean, they're fine.
Hug your horse, but it might step on you. Might step on you and hurt you.
Yeah, just give your horse peppermints.
Have that extra fence, because if it jumps, we don't want to jump it over both. Shane, thank you for having me. You're a beautiful human. Tell your wife I cry for her every day.
Everybody does. Everybody does.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody.